The 6th of May, 1915, Weddell Sea, Antarctica. The ship groans like it's alive. Wood bends. Ice presses harder. Every man on board the Endurance knows the truth. This ship is not getting out. The cold cuts through layers of clothing. Breath turns to frost in seconds. Around them, the ice stretches forever, thick, white, and silent. No water, no escape. And then comes a loud crack. It echoes across the frozen sea, the kind of sound that makes your chest tighten. Something is breaking. No one says it out loud, but they all feel it. If the ship fails, they don't just lose shelter. They lose their only way home. But this didn't start here. It started days earlier, when hope was still alive. The 5th of December, 1914, South Georgia Island. The journey looked simple on paper. Sail across the Weddell Sea, reach Antarctica, cross the continent. That was the plan led by Ernest Shackleton. The crew believed in him. 27 men, strong and ready. They laughed, worked, and pushed forward as the Endurance cut through cold water. At first, the ice was thin, easy to pass. Nothing felt dangerous yet, but slowly, things began to change. The gaps in the ice started closing. The water disappeared between frozen sheets. Each day, the ship moved slower. The men noticed it. The silence grew heavier. By January, the ice had them surrounded. No clear path forward. No way to turn back. The ship kept pushing until it couldn't move at all. It was stuck. At first, they thought it was temporary. A few days, maybe weeks. But the ice didn't loosen. It tightened. Day by day, the pressure kept building. And now, standing on the deck in May, listening to the ship crack under that pressure, they finally understand something terrifying. They are no longer explorers. They are survivors. And this is where everything begins to fall apart. The ice does not move, not even a little. Days pass, then weeks. Still nothing changes. The Endurance sits frozen, like it has been locked in place by the world itself. Men walk the deck in silence. Their boots crunch on ice that wasn't there before. Every sound feels too loud in the empty white desert around them. At first there is hope. Shackleton tells them the ice will break. Ships get stuck here all the time. They come out again. But deep down, even he is watching closely. Because this ice is different, thicker, stronger, unforgiving. The ship tries to move with the shifting flows, but it cannot escape. Instead, it begins to drift with the ice itself, slow, directionless, trapped. Each night, the cold gets sharper. Each morning, the horizon looks the same. No open water, no rescue path, just white in every direction. Food is still enough for now. Morale is still holding for now. But something is changing inside the men. Time feels strange here. Hours feel like days. Days feel like nothing. And silence becomes the loudest thing of all. Then one morning, Shackleton gathers the crew. His face is calm, but his eyes are heavy. He says what no one wants to hear. They are not sailing anymore. They are surviving here. The mission has changed. No more pushing forward. No more expecting open water. Now, it is about staying alive. Rations are counted more carefully. Work becomes routine, almost mechanical. Men dig ice away from the ship's sides. They measure cracks forming in the frozen pressure around them. Because the ice is no longer just holding them, it is squeezing them. The ship creaks at night. A deep, slow sound, like something large being crushed. Some men stop sleeping properly. Others stare at the ice too long, as if it might suddenly give answers. And Shackleton, he watches everything. He knows the truth now. They are not waiting for rescue. They are waiting for the ice to decide their fate. And the ice is patient, too patient. And somewhere deep beneath their feet, it is already starting to move again. But this time, not in their favor. The first sound is low, almost like thunder trapped under the ice. Then comes the second sound, a sharp crack right through the hull. Men freeze where they stand. No one speaks, no one moves, because this is different. This is not just the ice holding them anymore. It is the ice attacking them. Outside, the pressure has changed. Massive sheets of frozen sea are shifting slowly, violently, relentlessly. The Endurance groans as if it is being squeezed by invisible hands. Wood beams bend. Metal screams. Inside the ship, Shackleton walks quickly along the corridor. He touches the walls, listening. He doesn't need anyone to explain. He already understands. The ship is being crushed, and there is no stopping it. He orders everyone to stay calm. But calm is hard to hold when the ground beneath you is literally breaking apart. Another crack, louder this time. Water seeps into a lower section. Buckets are thrown fast, but it doesn't matter. The ice is winning. Shackleton makes the decision no one wants to hear. Prepare to abandon ship. The words land heavy, not shouted, not dramatic, just final. Men stop what they are doing. Some look at each other, some look down. This ship has carried them across thousands of kilometers of frozen ocean. It was their home, their safety, their world, and now it is dying. Outside, the ice shifts again. The pressure rises like a living force. A final deep groan runs through the entire structure. Then something gives. A beam snaps somewhere below. The sound echoes through the frozen air like a gunshot. Shackleton knows they cannot stay another day. The crew begins moving supplies, fast food, tools, anything useful. Hands shake, but work continues. No one complains. There is no time for it now. The ship is no longer a refuge. It is a sinking cage trapped in ice. And as the men step out onto the frozen world they once feared, they realize the truth fully for the first time. The Endurance is gone, not yet broken apart, but already lost. And ahead of them lies only the ice, endless, silent, waiting. And this is where survival truly begins. There is no ship anymore, only ice and silence. The men stand where the Endurance used to be their shelter. Now it is just a broken presence trapped in frozen chains. Shackleton doesn't allow panic. There is no time for collapse. He gives simple orders. Move the supplies. Build camp. Stay together. And so they begin. Tents are set up on the ice. Wooden crates become walls. Canvas becomes protection against a world that never warms. At night, the wind screams across the surface. It feels like the ice itself is alive and angry. Inside the camp, men sit close together, not for comfort, but for survival. Food is carefully measured now. Every piece matters. Every bite is counted. Time changes here. Days stop feeling like days. The sun circles low and weak in the sky, offering no warmth, just light and constant cold. Some men try to keep routines, walking, cleaning gear, fixing what little they have, anything to stop their minds from drifting too far into fear. But the ice is never still. It moves slowly beneath them, not visible at first, but always changing their position. They are drifting, farther from everything familiar, farther from any known route home. Shackleton watches this closely. He does not lie to them. He knows what this means. They are not waiting near rescue anymore. They are moving away from it. Still, he keeps morale alive. He speaks calmly. He listens. He leads. And somehow, the men follow. But inside each of them, something is shifting. Hunger becomes normal. Cold becomes normal. Fear becomes quiet. And that quiet is dangerous, because it means they are adapting or breaking. Weeks pass like this, then months. The ice stretches endlessly in every direction. No land, no ships, no signs of life. Only drifting white silence carrying them farther into the unknown. And Shackleton begins to understand something he will not say out loud yet. The ice is not just holding them. It is deciding where they go next. And soon, it will make the next move for them. Drifting ice near the Weddell Sea, Antarctica. The ground moves, and then it breaks. A deep, violent crack splits the ice beneath the camp. It runs for miles in every direction like a wound opening in slow motion. Men jump to their feet. Tents shake. Supplies slide across frozen surfaces. This is no longer stable ice. It is collapsing under its own pressure. Shackleton knows instantly this is the end of waiting. Move. Get everything ready. No hesitation. No confusion, just survival. The ice is breaking into smaller pieces now. What once was one frozen world is turning into floating fragments, and they are on top of it. The crew rushes to save what they can. Food crates, sleeping gear, tools, lifeboats. Everything must be moved fast, or lost forever. The cold bites harder with movement. Sweat freezes instantly on skin. And then comes the hardest order. Abandon the ice camp. The men drag lifeboats across cracked ice toward open leads of water. Every step is dangerous, every second uncertain. Below them, the ice shifts again. A loud snap echoes, followed by a slow tilt of the surface. One man nearly falls into a widening crack before being pulled back. There is no safe ground anymore, only movement. Finally, after exhausting hours, the boats reach water. Dark, freezing water surrounded by floating ice walls. The men look at it in silence, because now, the ocean is their only path. They launch the boats carefully. Cold water splashes instantly against wood. Inside, the freezing begins immediately. Hands lose feeling within minutes. Breathing becomes sharp and shallow. The ocean is not calm. It is packed with moving ice, sharp, heavy, unpredictable. They row through it anyway. Hours turn into days. Hunger grows heavier than exhaustion. Sleep becomes impossible in the rocking boats. And still, they row. Then, on the horizon, something appears. A dark shape rising from the endless white sea. Land. Elephant Island. Small. Barren. Forgotten. But solid. The men push harder, using their last strength. The boats scrape onto the shore with tired force. One by one, they step onto land again. But when they look around, there is no rescue here. No civilization. No help. Only rock, ice, and wind. They have survived the ice. But the world they have reached is no kinder. And Shackleton already knows. This is not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning of the hardest decision yet. The island is silent, but not safe. Wind tears across the rocky shore nonstop. Waves crash like they want to erase the land itself. The men are alive, but just barely. Their camp is makeshift boats turned upside down. Cloth stretched over wood, anything to block the wind. Food is limited. Bodies are weak. Hope is fading fast. Every day on Elephant Island feels like borrowed time. Shackleton walks among the men. He studies their faces, their breathing, their strength. He knows what they don't say out loud. No ship is coming here. Not ever. Then he makes a decision that changes everything. He will leave. Not with all of them. With only a small crew. A lifeboat. And a journey across the most dangerous ocean on Earth. Over 1,300 kilometers of freezing, open Southern Ocean. One chance. If they fail, everyone dies here. But if they succeed, rescue is possible. The men listen in silence. No one argues, because there is nothing left to argue about. The chosen crew prepares the small boat. It is never meant for this kind of sea. They reinforce it as much as possible. Every piece of wood checked, every rope tightened. Food is loaded carefully, just enough to survive, not more. Then the moment comes. Shackleton steps into the boat first. The ocean is already moving violently. Dark waves rise like walls. The wind is relentless. The boat pushes off from Elephant Island. Behind them, the remaining crew stands on shore, watching, waiting, silent. No one knows if they will ever see each other again. Almost immediately, the sea tests them. Huge waves lift the boat high, then drop it hard into freezing water. Ice floats everywhere like moving traps. Water floods the edges. Hands freeze around oars. Sleep becomes impossible. Rest becomes impossible. They take turns rowing through exhaustion. Day blends into night. Night blends into storm. And still, they keep going. Because turning back is not an option. Every mile is survival. Every wave is a risk. Shackleton stays calm. But inside he is calculating everything. Wind, direction, timing. One wrong move here means the ocean wins. After days of brutal sailing, a shape appears in the distance. Dark land rising from the sea. South Georgia Island, but reaching it is not the end. It is only the first door. And beyond it lies something even harder than the ocean itself. The boat finally hits land, but there is no relief. The waves still crash behind them. The wind still bites like knives. But this is different. This is solid ground. Shackleton steps out first. His legs shake from exhaustion. The men follow, collapsing onto the rocky shore. They are alive, but barely holding together. Their journey across the ocean is over. But rescue is still far away, because South Georgia is not a safe place. It is empty mountains, glaciers, and ice-covered peaks. And on the other side of this island is a whaling station, the only chance for help. But there is a problem. They are on the wrong side of the island. Between them and survival stands a brutal landscape. Sharp mountains, deep ice fields, and no known path. The men are too weak for this. Everyone knows it. But waiting is worse. So Shackleton makes another decision. He will cross the island on foot, with only 2 men. No map, no proper gear, no guarantee, just survival instinct. They begin the climb immediately. The first steps are easy compared to what comes next. The mountains rise quickly. Ice replaces rock. Rock turns into steep frozen walls. The cold is harsher here. Wind cuts through everything. Their bodies are already weak from months of hunger. Every movement costs energy they don't have. They climb without proper rest, stop only when forced. At night, they cannot safely sleep outdoors, so they rest in shallow ice formations, half protected from wind. There is no comfort, only survival. Hours feel endless. The terrain becomes worse. Ice ridges block their path. Glaciers force them into dangerous detours. At one point, they must slide down steep frozen slopes just to continue forward. No one speaks much. Speech wastes energy. Shackleton leads quietly, always watching, always adjusting direction. Then comes the hardest section, a jagged mountain range with no clear route. They are forced to climb blind, guessing each step on unstable ice and rock. Fatigue becomes extreme. Hands crack from cold. Eyes struggle to stay open, but they keep moving, because stopping means freezing. And then, after what feels like endless struggle, they hear something new, a sound that does not belong to ice. A distant whistle, human voices. The whaling station is close. They push forward with what little strength remains. Finally, they see buildings, smoke, movement, life. Shackleton reaches the station first. For a moment, he just stands there, silent, still. Then he steps forward. Help has been found. But even now, there is still one mission left unfinished. The men on Elephant Island are still waiting. The whaling station is warm, but Shackleton does not stay. He has no time for rest, no time for relief, because 22 men are still waiting on a frozen island. Not knowing if anyone is coming back, Shackleton organizes a rescue ship immediately. The first attempt is made fast. Hope is high, but the ice is stronger than expected. The ship cannot reach Elephant Island. Frozen barriers block every path. They try again and again. Each time, the ice wins. Days turn into weeks. Shackleton refuses to stop. He pushes crews. He changes routes. He waits for openings in the sea ice. Every delay means danger for the men left behind. On Elephant Island, the crew survives in silence. They have no idea what is happening out there. They only know one thing. Shackleton left, and he promised he would return. So they wait, through storms, through freezing winds, through endless uncertainty. Food is stretched carefully. Morale rises and falls like the tide, but they survive. Back on the rescue ship, Shackleton keeps trying. Then, finally, the ice shifts. A narrow path opens in the frozen sea. He does not waste a second. The ship pushes forward at full speed. Ice crashes against the hull. Water freezes instantly on contact, but they keep going. Hours feel like lifetimes. And then, land appears. Elephant Island. Silent. Gray. Still exactly where they left it. Shackleton steps onto the shore first. He looks toward the camp. There is no movement at first. Then, shapes begin to rise. Slowly. Carefully. One by one, the men emerge. All 22 are alive. No one has been lost. A silence fills the air, not of fear anymore, but disbelief. After 22 months trapped in one of the harshest environments on Earth, every single man survived. Shackleton does not celebrate loudly. He simply counts them, and then nods. That is all. The journey that began as an expedition has ended as one of the greatest survival rescues in history. But what remains is not just survival. It is what made survival possible. Leadership under impossible pressure, calm in total collapse, and the refusal to leave anyone behind. As the ship finally turns away from the ice, the frozen horizon fades into distance. And for the first time in nearly 2 years, there is nothing left to run from.